comes naturally. The virtues that are inherently present in the heart are. The Infinite Life Sutra talks about pure and equal awareness. His compassion and great love are definitely in harmony with pure and equal awareness. If it's not in harmony with equal awareness, it's not in line. The shaky nature of perception. Why is that? It's about the workings of the mind. Minds fluctuate. Understand. Beings can't escape. We really need to understand this clearly. So all beings in the six realms can't escape the cycle of birth and death. The main reason lies here. So from this. So you see, in this life, when we chant the Buddha's name and wish to be reborn in the Western Pure Land, we often say, see through and let go. This is the first point about letting go. You need to let go of the false pretenses surrounding events, completely let go of them. After letting go, we should uplift the boundless compassion of the Buddhas and Bodhisattvas and their great empathy for all beings. Let go and uplift are. When you uplift great love of Buddhas and Bodhisattvas, you can be selfless for the sake of others. You can sacrifice anything. You can let go of everything. But for all. This is emulate Kittagaba. Please look at the scripture. It's all about equality in matters. I shall chant again. World Honored One is about chanting. In this situation, you see the holy monk has no other thoughts in his mind. We chant again. The pure void transforms into the Dharma realm, encompassing everything. Beings suffer. He's not targeting anyone. Earlier, we saw Lady Maya ham, and it seems she still has a bit of attachment. Especially to remember the beings of Jambudvipa. And when Kittagaba Bodhisattva was punished, his heart expanded immensely. It's all just for show, really. Was Lady Maya right? Yes. So how do we do it right? We start by helping beings from those close to us. You can't ignore those nearby while focusing on those far away. That's illogical. Those near. Hard to say. Help others, starting with those close to you. From the near to the far. Who's nearby? Your family. They are the closest, right? Help family before others, right? Why can't your family be saved? You failed. If you're not doing things properly, family won't believe you. When you do things properly, your family will have deep respect for you. I admire you. If they are willing to learn, embody the teachings, set a good example and expand influence. You've got to set a good example for your family first. Then show it to your relatives, friends, and everyone you know. Bit by bit, we're expanding this influence. Lady Maya is teaching us. This is the skill of helping beings. The Buddhas and Bodhisattvas speak to us from a broader perspective. They are all good teachers. It's all to teach us. And they perform various practices for us to see. So to put it simply, how can we promote the Dharma and make it joyfully accepted by all beings? Just look at the Kittagarbha Bodhisattva's fundamental vows. It's the best script, isn't it? You could bring it to the stage right. So let's turn it into a TV series, or even make a movie out of it. There's not one person dislikes it. Everyone enjoys it. At Good Bridge, we use skills to benefit all sentient beings. But to do this, we really need to really develop in that direction. The scriptwriters, directors, and actors need to come to the hall for classes first. We need to explain this sutra clearly from start to finish. Prior to be Kittagarbha Bodhisattva, everyone is inspired to establish the work of Kittagarbha, and then this project will definitely be a success. That's how we succeed. So now there are some Buddhist films and series, but honestly, I find them quite lacking. What's the reason? Director actors don't understand Buddha's teachings. So, of course, this effect. It's quite a difference. It's essential for the actors and directors to truly understand the teachings, you know. Body discipline, essence of interest. Scripts they've written. The skill of a single thought. Only then can we demonstrate wisdom. Only then can we truly achieve skillful means. We have this intention. There's this grievance. Language isn't sufficient. Today we don't have a group of these film and TV actors and directors coming together with us to practice, and we still can't achieve that. If there's a group of people and the conditions are ripe, then beings will have great blessings. All in the world have great blessings. The entire Avatamsaka Sutra could be brought to the stage. Even though we haven't talked much about the Avatamsaka Sutra, you all find it quite intriguing, don't you? Everything can be brought to the stage in our daily lives. Everything is part of our living experience. Set an example. So learning Buddhism and being a Bodhisattva is like learning to perform, you know. Well, we haven't stepped onto the stage of these actors. Today, we're on this social stage. We need to understand how to play our part well in this show. Let these beings haven't attained liberation. When they see this performance, they can have insights. They'll be moved. They'll awaken. And that achieves the purpose of spreading the Dharma and benefiting sentient beings. So let's see what the Buddha recited. What are we reciting today again? We've recited it wrong again. It's false. What we're reciting is our own life. Our wealth and life are all illusions. Not the true essence. Our existence is impermanent. Things outside of ourselves are more unattainable. You've got to understand this principle. Understanding seasons. Buddhas and Bodhisattvas. All evidence. We need to have deep faith and not doubt, and study earnestly. More uphold. Now looking at the next part, it says, as it is, it's like a web of connections. Loads are significant. The vastness of suffering is so. World Honored One. Hearing the report of Kitigaba Bodhisattva, they are also very happy. Since you say that. Despise, web of connections. Kitigaba has made a vow to help all beings. It's not just today. It was borrowing money. He made this vow, you see, from life to life, putting his wishes into practice. Have been multiple punishments. Like we recite the 4 great vows every day. Sentient beings limitless, vow health, sufferings endless, vow cut. We recite 4 great vows, but don't uphold Buddha's teachings. What happens? Go against recitation, wouldn't no longer be ordinary. This recitation is undermined. No longer ordinary. What is 13 volts? You are a Bodhisattva who has decided to stay. Now, consider what the Avatamsaka Sutra says about a Bodhisattva making the initial aspiration. A face came from here. You've transcended the 6 realms and the 18 realms. Once you overcome the Sai Hong and Shi Yang, you've transcended. You are not in the 6 realms, nor are you in the 10 Dharma realms. Once punished, you've transcended. Reciting daily won't suffice. Reciting alone won't help you transcend. Need go against. So let us observe. If Sai Hong and Shi Yang are the original abode of Kitigaba, they are not a bit off, eh? So today we're leaving the heavenly palace. Kitigaba Bodhisattva has made a vow. Receiving Buddha of the Honored One. Helping these suffering sentient beings. This is the World Honored One here, and this statement is also praising him. Every section is important. This character is pronounced as Zhongxing or Zhong. It's important to take his vow seriously, as he has made this vow many, many times. Both pronunciations and meanings make sense. The Buddha saw them, sinking straight down. That's quite comforting, really. There's no more worries, no more attachments left. It's all just a show for us to see. To understand Shakyamuni, Buddha. He's going to become Kitigaba Bodhisattva. Why doesn't he use his Buddha form to appear in this world and continue teaching us? No way. What about these sentient beings? Thanks. If you want to see how the Buddha helps the world, you've got to understand that these sentient beings, if they're lazy and slack, it's not a big deal. If they don't listen to the teachings today, they can always catch up tomorrow. I can learn later. He's always mentioning it. If it's said that this Buddha is nearing nirvana, everyone gets flustered and fast. If you don't learn, you'll miss out. Then he got all worked up. So the Buddha enters nirvana. Skillful means. You understand meaning. Seeking knowledge is like Buddha. I studied in Taichung in the past. Time is short. Benefits are more than the average student. What's the reason? We came from out of town, and our time in Taichung as guests is really short, so we've got to get on with it and study seriously. We're unsure when the opportunity is gone. The people living in Taichung City don't have this mindset. Lisai stays in Taichung City, thinking if it doesn't work today, there's next year, and if not, the year after. That kind of attitude just stays lazy forever. Until Teacher Li died, he hadn't learned it. Teacher Li in Taichung for 38 years. The feeling isn't it? So when we're guests, we feel quite anxious. We really need to seize this opportunity. Well, you know that once an opportunity is missed, it's not easy to get it back. The Buddhas and Bodhisattvas appear in this world. If they stayed, teaching's ineffective. They can't stay, making Buddha's teachings ineffective. Buddha's teachings won't be effective. So they can't just stay around all the time. See the passage from Scripture. This passage from Scripture. The world-honored one and Kittagaba Bodhisattva were having a Q&A, and then another Bodhisattva came in. Master Censor. There was a Bodhisattva, Mahasattva, at the meeting. These Bodhisattvas are sudden enlightenment, and not ordinary Bodhisattva. Bodhisattva, Av. From his title, we can see that he has great ease in meditation. Yeah. In Buddhist teachings, when in a state of concentration, there is no instability. Don't get me wrong, it's truly the Earth Store Bodhisattva since the time of the thunderous calamity. Has deal. Golden Dragon, Buddha praising. I wish the Buddha would speak of it 6 times. The Buddha praised the Earth Store Bodhisattva at the Grand Assembly. There's no way the Bodhisattva of unhindered concentration doesn't understand the principles. It's asking what you know. Because he knows. This gathering. It's gathered. This golden store. It will definitely be passed down for a long time. Those who didn't attend this gathering, seeing Shakyamuni Buddha. Regarding the attitude towards the Bodhisattvas, praising the Bodhisattvas. You can't help but have doubts, can you? What wishes and virtues do the Bodhisattvas ultimately possess to gain the Buddha's recognition? Such praise. But where do those who didn't attend the flower gathering go ask? Even in the future. If you want to know, there's no place to ask, is there? The Bodhisattva of unhindered concentration has a compassionate gaze, knows his asking on our behalf. Let the Buddha explain it to us. Putting off our future. So this kind of inquiry in the Buddhist scriptures is called beneficial questions for sentient beings. It's also something worth learning from. Sometimes we don't have doubts ourselves, but we think about the doubts others might have. Glamps. or especially in modern times. Tech in teaching, methods of technology, giving teachings and lectures. Everything is recorded, video and audio. So observing and listening doesn't have to be done on site. There might be even more people watching, listening from outside the venue. It's hard to quantify. So if they have questions where to ask, we should learn to ask questions in a way that benefits sentient beings. Take look scripture. 20 blessed. Tell Bodhisattva of unhindered king. Listen carefully and reflect on it well. I shall not enter. The distinctions have come to an end. The Bodhisattva asked the question, and the world-honored one must provide an answer, as he knows. This answer can benefit countless people. Countless people who aren't present at the scene. Before we begin, these words. The 10 great Bodhisattvas in the precept area are here to encourage us, the audience, to reflect on our conduct. It's really important to listen carefully and think wisely about these 8 words. Can we understand the meaning of the Buddha? The key lies in these 8 words. Without these words, understanding the Tathagata is hard. The foundation is sincerity. Without these words, grasping Tathagata's meaning is tough. What's the foundation? The foundation is sincerity. Listen with a sincere heart. Yeah. What is sincerity? Difference between benefit delusion. It's about listening. To put it another way, when listening to the Dharma, there shouldn't be a single delusion in your heart. This is the subway. Think wisely about it. Think wisely. It's about realizing, after listening, you come to an understanding. In Buddhism, we talk about enlightenment, understanding Dharma. It is only on the first day that you can achieve enlightenment. After the materials, what you need to focus on is the practice of thought. It's all about being present. What are those 8 words? Lucky actions are key. All included in that. This mindset is essential for understanding the poetic and literary Dharma. Without this heart, without this attitude, it's really what you'd call not hearing what's never been heard. Yeah, hearing without really hearing. This grammar is equivalent to not heard. That goes to waste. The selling king of the past has countless immeasurable beings that cannot be involved with him. This is deep wish. Setting up Kittagaba Bodhisattva, Temple of Past. Let me introduce this Bodhisattva to us. Let's get to know Kittagaba Bodhisattva. Understanding. Only then do we believe in him. and we are willing to learn from him, yeah. So this is to explain Kitigarbha Bodhisattva. The causes and conditions of his past practice are countless, and in the infinite realms, the stories of Kitigarbha Bodhisattva are endless. We can only touch on a few examples within all these events. So this is what Shakyamuni Buddha has told us. An example of Kitigarbha Bodhisattva's initial aspiration. This goes back a really long time. Today we usually talk about astronomical numbers. In that era, there were 20 Buddhas, and these 9 were gathered together. Previously, in that era, there was a Buddha, known as the Tathagata of all achievements. Next, we should discuss the main title. By doing good deeds, one becomes superior to all in the world, akin to the heavenly beings and Buddhas, O world-honored one. So, these 10 titles. In Buddhism, there are common titles for all Buddhas. These 10 titles, right? Show me. The wisdom and virtue of the Buddha on earth have led to becoming a Buddha. This is the true essence of that immeasurable and incomparable wisdom and virtue. It's also something that can't be praised or expressed enough. So, the Buddha summarized the boundless wisdom and virtue on earth into 10 categories. These 10 titles are used to represent now, let's briefly talk about these titles. The Tathagata of all achievements. Different title, Buddha. Wisdom through 10 titles. Every Buddha has these names for fellow practitioners. Every type of Buddha has these 10 names. This is for all you practitioners. You need to remember and understand. Don't get it twisted, because a lot of people say which Buddha is the greatest, claiming that the Tathagata is the greatest. That's a misconception. I've read too many novels. Sun Wukong can't jump out of the palm of Buddha. Every school of Buddhism refers to the Tathagata. So the Tathagata is a common title, right? How does the Tathagata teach? The simplest way to put it is, the Buddha, like the ancient Buddhas returning. That's how. Buddha, the path of the Buddha is the same. Becoming a Buddha means everything is equal. Completely the same. Bodhisattvas aren't necessarily the same. They won't be completely identical, but Buddhas are completely the same. That's why we say that. Golden Buddha like ancient Buddha. We want to delve deeper into that meaning. There's an explanation in the Diamond Sutra. The Tathagata is the ultimate reality of all phenomena. This explanation is great. Ultimate reality refers to a suchness is truth. Phenomena resonate with truth. All phenomena, yeah, they all resonate with the true nature. What called it? This meaning is expressed very perfectly. Theoretically, regarding the Buddha's return, it's explained in terms of the Four Noble Truths. What's that mean for the rest?